Welcome to our channel. Embark on a journey through our video series dedicated to comprehensively covering the content of the CITB book, Health, Safety and Environment Test for Managers and Professionals. Throughout these videos, we delve into the crucial topics outlined in the book. Section A, Legal and Management. Section B, Occupational Health, Well-being and Welfare. Section C, General Safety. Section D, High-risk activities. Section E, Environment. Section F, Specialist activities. In this particular video, we focus on Section B, 08, Noise and Vibration. For your convenience, a link in the top right corner of the video allows easy navigation through the entire series. We are certain that by engaging with this video series, you will be thoroughly equipped to effectively handle your CSCS card. Keep in mind, the CSCS test typically lasts around 45 minutes, and scoring at least 45 out of 50 questions correctly is required to pass. Before we delve into the content, please show your support by liking and subscribing. Your support means a lot to us. Let's embark on this learning journey together.
What might be the health outcome for an individual exposed to noise in the workplace? Permanent and disabling hearing damage. Temporary inner ear imbalance and vertigo. Long-term chronic earache and infections. Continually prone to temporary threshold shift. Which one of the following could be an early indication of hearing damage? Difficulty having conversations where there is background noise. Inability to hear vehicle and plant audible warnings. Needing to increase the setting level of hearing protection. Having to take longer breaks due to the onset of headaches. A large construction project has identified that hearing protection must be worn in certain build sections and will become a mandatory policy requirement. What are the drawbacks of this policy? It will compromise the productivity of workers in these areas. It will take too much management time to ensure compliance. It will increase project costs outside of the allocated budget. It will decrease workers' awareness of all other hazards. When visiting a site, your team needs to complete an inspection that is adjacent to an activity generating a high level of noise which cannot be stopped. Which one of the following actions would you expect the site manager to apply? Arrange for the site health and safety advisor to accompany your team. Make hearing protection available to those who ask for it. Issue everyone affected with hearing protection and ensure that it is worn. Give a toolbox talk on how to work safely in a noisy working environment. If you are suffering from whistling and buzzing in your ears, it is nothing to be worried about, as it is a consequence of working in a noisy construction environment, and these symptoms will subside. Is this true? Yes, this is only a temporary and short-term painful condition. No, this is only treatable when exposure to noise stops permanently. Yes, this is a common industry problem and no permanent damage will be caused. No, this is an early warning of hearing damage and must not be ignored. Nuisance noise can cause individuals to suffer physiological effects, but it must not be compared to the effects of excessive or long-term exposure to noise. Is this true? Yes, nuisance noise is below the level that could damage a worker's hearing. No, nuisance noise is a common cause of noise-induced hearing loss amongst workers. Yes, nuisance noise causes severe hearing complications amongst workers. No, nuisance noise can easily be controlled to remove the impact on workers. When it is not reasonably practicable to remove noise hazards and a level of noise remains, which one of the following must be provided? Suitable training and awareness. Suitable risk monitoring. Suitable hearing protection. Suitable acoustic barriers. When choosing suitable personal protective hearing equipment, which one of the following protection factors is important? It must ensure that all noise is continually eliminated. It must eliminate risks from noise to an acceptable level. It must magnify certain sound frequencies over others. It must ensure comfort and durability when working. You are standing in a busy section of the site with the quantity surveyor. You are stood approximately 1 metre away from each other, but are having to raise your voices to hold a conversation. Why is this happening? The quantity surveyor has hearing aids in both ears, and this is being accounted for as the noise level is only 70 decibels A. You are standing too far apart and need to be much closer to engage in clear conversation as the noise level is around 85 decibels A. Hearing protection is being worn, but the ear protectors have been damaged and the noise level is above 87 decibels A. Hearing protection is not being worn in line with the risk assessment for this area and the noise level is at 90 decibels A. On a construction site where noise levels are not able to be practically reduced below the upper exposure action value UEAV and where employees are likely to be exposed, what must be put in place to mitigate the impact of noise? A programme of practical workshops demonstrating how to fit and wear hearing protection correctly. Designated hearing protection zones and suitable signage stating that hearing protection must be worn. Provision of suitable hearing protection if a worker requests it as per their own personal preference. Appropriate work rotation aligned with sufficient rest breaks so that hearing protection is not needed. In line with the Control of Noise at Work Regulations 2005, a reliable and representative estimate of workers' daily personal noise exposure must be made. Which one of the following states how this is estimated? Through a combination of how the noisy work is done and how long each worker takes to do the same task. Through a combination of how loud and for how long a worker is exposed to noise in a working day. Through an analysis of daily noise measurements conducted while workers do specific tasks. Through an analysis of calculated peak sound pressure levels that a worker is exposed to in a working week. Which of the following measures will provide continual, medium and long-term benefits as part of a construction project's noise control programme? 1. Investing in a buy quiet policy for machinery and equipment. 2. Improving the working techniques to reduce noise levels. 3. Erecting enclosures using absorbent materials to reduce the noise. 4. Maintaining noise-emitting machinery and equipment on a regular basis. 1 and 2 only. 2 and 3 only. 3 and 4 only. 1 and 4 only. Why is overexposure to vibratory tools and equipment a serious issue? Its impact and severity on long-term health is still unknown. There are no early warning symptoms, so damage cannot be mitigated. The associated health conditions are difficult to assess and diagnose. It can cause permanent and disabling health conditions. When using a disc cutter, which one of the following might increase the vibration levels? The user maintaining a tight grip on the tool. The tool being operated on its highest setting. The tool's disc always being sharp and clean. The user being relaxed whilst operating the tool. Operatives who have been diagnosed with Stage 2 hand-arm vibration syndrome, HAVS, have been given advice on how to minimise their vascular symptoms. Which two of the following will help the operatives to control these symptoms? To stop cigarette smoking or cut down on intake. To take more rest breaks during the working day. To keep warm and dry in cold and damp weather. To wear anti-vibratory gloves when appropriate. To hold the correct posture when operating a tool. To help control the effects of hand-arm vibration syndrome, HAVS, the exposure action value, EAV, and the exposure limit value, ELV, need to be adhered to. Which one of the following explains how they are measured? By using the tool manufacturer's vibration exposure data to establish an accurate trigger time limit for workers. By observing workers using vibratory tools and equipment and using the data gathered to manage the exposure limits. By analysing a combination of the vibration at the grip point on the tool and the time a worker spends gripping the tool. By calculating the tool's vibratory output at varying speeds compared with the hours a worker has spent operating it. Which of the following are neurological hand-arm vibration syndrome, HAVS, symptoms? 1. Numbness and tingling in the fingers. 2. Reduced sense of touch and temperature. 3. Bone decay and loss of grip. 4. Finger blanching and red throbbing. 1 and 2 only. 2 and 3 only. 3 and 4 only. 1 and 3 only. It is recognised that symptoms of hand-arm vibration syndrome, HAVS, may be intermittent, but with continual exposure to vibration, they could become prolonged or even permanent. Is this true? Yes, and if the symptoms become permanent, it is very unlikely that they will cause any physical pain or psychological impact. No, the onset of symptoms is immediate, and there is no prior warning for the individual to try and minimise the impact. Yes, continual exposure can become a permanent condition and will cause pain, distress, and sleep disturbance. No, although the symptoms come and go, it would only be temporary as it is treatable with medical intervention. Which one of the following is the most effective way of controlling vibration exposure on a construction site? Using equipment with low vibration output. Limiting the operative's trigger time. Maintaining equipment so it remains efficient. Changing the process and avoidance. A group of operatives are using handheld breakers to break up a pavement ready for landscaping. How can this activity be controlled to ensure that the health of the worker is not compromised? Check that the equipment has been regularly serviced before use and that any vibration-resilient components have been replaced. Check that the operatives keep a diary recording their daily tool output in order to protect the company from future claims. Check that, as part of the risk assessment process, individual vibration exposure levels are matching the manufacturer's data. Check that the operatives are issued with anti-vibration gloves and that these are worn when operating the equipment. When installing a new machine in a workshop, which one of the following measures will help to reduce the vibration it produces? Ensuring that it is powered up correctly. Using jigs to hold components firmly in place. Making sure that all guarding is fitted correctly. Ensuring that users are trained on its operation. You are reviewing the risk assessment for an activity involving the use of a concrete breaker. The work is being conducted by experienced ground workers, and the breaker has been fitted with suspended handles to reduce vibration. Which other preventative control measure could be implemented? Reviewing the higher smooth policy to ensure that it remains fit for purpose. Applying the correct operating force to produce lower vibratory levels. Improving operator training to achieve lower vibratory levels in use. Conducting focus groups with the operatives to share best practice. A worker is operating a hammer drill fitted with a vibration timer device, and it has started to emit high-pitched beeps. This notifies the worker that the device is broken. Is this correct? Yes, it has been designed as a safeguard to ensure that the drill is examined for damage, otherwise protection from vibration exposure will be compromised. No, it has been calculated to capture the vibration output that must not be exceeded, so this is a warning to stop as maximum levels have been reached. Yes, these are mandatory automatic alert warnings for malfunctions and are a requirement of the Control of Vibration at Work Regulations 2005. No, these alert warnings are only given when the device recognises that the tool needs to be taken out of service for thorough inspection.
Congratulations on your progress. Every step brings you closer to your goals. Keep embracing knowledge until you achieve your desired success. Look for the link in the top right corner to seamlessly transition to the next video.